Hey, this is Tim, and we're playing Spelunky. As you can see, I sort of paused there because I was going to do a no gold run, because I'm just trying to pick up all the achievements and do all the stuff on PC, because I haven't done it yet. All my playtime pretty much is on the Xbox. What I want to do is get the hard ones done with, but that was a bit too late, so I didn't want to just restart a run straight away. I figured, yeah, let's go for it. Let's take a break from this no gold run. This run has a lot of wasted potential, but it also has some good stuff going on. And by good stuff, I mean pretty average stuff. You know, B-Rex isn't going to be impressed. Anyone who's seen B-Rex isn't going to be impressed. Anyone who plays this game even casually isn't going to be like impressed. They'll just accept that, yeah, that was alright. That was an alright result. Maybe I beat it, maybe I didn't. I definitely did alright though. Like before, I'm basically using this as a diary. What did I do today? Well, today some mail order shoes and a jumper came for my job interview tomorrow at 10:30. And the jumper's perfect. The sort of, you know, woolly thing to go over that's formal. You know what I'm talking about. Not a blazer, but just a pullover. Now the shoes, the first thing we noticed was they're advertised as being kickers with green accents. Actually, the kickers thing is to have green and red. So when we opened the box, we were a bit surprised that it looked like fucking Christmas. Green and red shoes. Couldn't be doing that, and in any case, they were long enough, but they weren't wide enough because I have extra wide feet. So I had to go out to Clark's in town. I live in Tame. And they fit me, and we saved £10. Ended up spending £10 less than we did on the kickers on some proper tidy leather shoes. Actually, I did spend an extra £5 just getting some gel inserts. So we saved £5, and I'm not going to walk around and go to my interview looking like fucking Santa puked on my feet. This job I'm interviewing for, well, not this particular job, but at this Sainsbury's in Tame, I've interviewed here twice before with the same guy. Every time it's a case of, oh, someone else fit it better than you. Someone else fit shelf stacking better than me. Honestly, I'm glad, but I'd still like a job. So I'm hoping that I'm lucky, because I teach guitar, I do session work, I do ghost sessions, which is session work, but you don't get any credit for it, and you maybe get paid a little bit more, better royalties or something like that. I've done compositions for people, you know, just locally teaching, I think I mentioned. But it's not necessarily consistent. You can't set your watch to that income. Like SCP Containment Breach, I composed for that just for fun, and I mean, it's not making any money, so I'm not making any money. And I've basically released it with a Creative Commons license, so share and share alike. Just don't make any money off of it. And don't fucking lie and say you wrote it and put it on YouTube and monetize it. That pissed me off. Loads of people were doing that. Go ahead, put it on if you think it's going to get some views, but don't monetize it because it's not yours. And, you know, don't say it's yours because it's not. And I'm gonna look it up. And I'm gonna message you. No, I'm not gonna do a DMCA takedown notice because honestly, if you did decide to come back and dispute it, I'd still have no money to defend my stuff with. So it's no matter what side you're coming from, as long as you don't have money, you're fucked in copyright. Especially on YouTube, where if you have a partnership with them, as in, I'm not talking about a YouTube advertising partnership or anything like that, or a network partnership. I'm talking about Performing Rights Society, collection service, who are hand in hand with Google, advising them on how to implement their auto ID system. That, you know, I'm not going to upload any more music to any more, you know, playing fucking Bach from 1750s and getting it claimed and having them take ad revenue on a video of me playing hundreds of years old music. That is insane. And what's more insane is that I can dispute it, yeah. They leave it the maximum time collecting ad revenue, then they say, oh yeah, you're right, we don't own this. And then it's automatically claimed again, and they get another bunch of time getting the ad revenue. You'll find, when you contact YouTube's copyright services, they'll either send you to the troubleshooter, which is what you use in the first place, and then when that doesn't help you, you email them. So you go to something, it doesn't help you, tells you to email them, you email them, and then the email tells you to go to the thing that doesn't help you. Or you get told to say by YouTube saying, hey, that's not us putting it into the system, it's PRS putting it into the system. So you got to email them. You email PRS and they say, oh, that's nothing to do with us, that's YouTube's policy. How's that YouTube's policy? It's YouTube's policy that you put stuff into the ID match system. You did it. Your organization's name is on the autoclave for public domain composition. And it doesn't say a particular recording. It says this composition is administered and it's BWV blah blah blah, as in the actual Bach catalogued work. Not an arrangement, and I wasn't playing an arrangement. Nor was I playing an arrangement on my Chopin videos. I was playing it as the original sheets, dictated as best I could. And they got the money from that. And then they say, oh no, someone did that using our name. That's not us. Who's the money going to then? How could the money go to anyone but you? Surely there's only one entity registered as Performing Rights Society Collection Service. If there isn't, you have a huge fucking problem you need to sort out. People shouldn't be able to just pose as you, and if they can, you need to deal with that because people are using your name to give them authority to take money from people performing public domain pieces of music. Me, literally alone in my bedroom with a ukulele and a scan of the sheet music written by Bach's hand, was claimed by them. It was claimed that what was it I was taking? I was performing a piece of music off of their album that was written for the entertainment of dogs, and what they did was it's called Through a Dog's Ear something something something. But actually what that one track is a load of public domain stuff in a string. So if you play some public domain stuff that they've strung together, it's going to come up as this different piece, when actually it's an amalgamation of public domain stuff. So it looks like you're playing something that isn't public domain, when it's fucking Bach and fucking motherfucking dick shitting Chopin. Son of a bitch. Let's move on to something a little bit more positive. So, I've worked with these two guitar makers, Anthony Goulding and Howard Robinson, and they've made a guitar to my specifications. So of course it's fucking perfecto. Now, there was an issue with the ebony faceplate where it moved a bit or something, and it wasn't like perfectly smooth black. It wasn't absolutely perfectly smooth, and I wanted it like that. So they're redoing the faceplate in Rich Light, which is often used for like countertops in kitchens, and Gibson use it for their fretboards now, I think. And what that will give me is just a perfect one-piece faceplate with no little brown bits, so it's perfectly black, none more fucking black. It's got some hand-wound pickups and blah-de-blah-de-blah, and that's going to be going through my Kemper profiling amp that's coming tomorrow, and it's going to sound amazing, and you will not ever hear it on YouTube. You'll hear it on recordings of the band I'm in, Confront the Carnage. You'll hear it on any session work I do. You'll hear it in any compositions that I record for myself with my guitars. You'll hear it on Daily Motion. Never putting anything creative on YouTube again, because they don't care. You know, not only do they not protect you, it's not just a case of you getting knocked off of YouTube. It's someone making money off of your stuff, and then they claim ownership of even original works you made. You'll get it claimed with the name you've given it. For example, in my case, Moose's Lullaby, named after my pet Jack Russell, that got claimed as Moose's Lullaby. Then it got taken down. I tried to dispute it, but they were just like, no. And it's like, I don't have the money to dispute that in a court. I can't hire a solicitor. So, it's gone. The evidence that I wrote it first, it being online by a certain date, is gone, and they've said it's theirs. So if I ever try and put anything up, any other performance of it up, I'm going to get it claimed, and they're going to say, no, this is our piece of music, Moose's Lullaby. Fuck off. I said I was going to talk about something more positive, but it just keeps slipping back to that. You have no idea how angry that's made me. just the pain it's caused, because I can't stop thinking about it. I mean, I'll not be able to sleep until 5 a.m. and I'll have to walk around the town 10 times. You know, it makes my blood boil. I was looking up the partnership between PRS and Google, and I mean, they release papers together on businesses that work based on infringing on copyrights. The fucking irony. It's as if they're not looking it up to try and help prevent it. They're building the better mousetrap. They're studying them and making their own impervious to outside influence. It's a racket. Do not upload original stuff on YouTube unless you're already huge somewhere else, because they'll just nick it, so that whenever you try and put your own stuff up, they make money off it. I mean, I wasn't making any kind of fucking money off it. I was making like maybe 8 pennies a video, unless it was something that somehow got shared around and would hit like 20,000 views. Then I'd make sometimes a few pounds. It's as if they pay attention to what you're doing. You know, as if they have an intern or something following you, because what was happening was the more views I was getting, the less ad revenue. I mean, it could be the case that it's more people watching, but all of them have ad block, and more people than before have ad block. I doubt that's the case every time, because my videos getting more views always coincided with the public domain stuff or my original compositions being submitted to the content ID automatic claiming system and funneling off ad revenue to them. They wouldn't do a proper DMCA claim, no, because they know they could get fucked up if they did that. They did eventually, and I lost access to my Gmail account that I got the notices on. So I can't even go back and contest it in any way whatsoever. I'm completely blocked out. My AdSense account that had $40 on it because it was too low to pay out to me, I guess they just keep it. Maybe they've given it to PRSCS, who knows? Maybe the CEO of Google's going to use it to buy a dragon dildo to shove up his sweaty, wart-encrusted asshole. I have no idea. I'm just thinking of what possibilities there could be. Now, you've probably noticed in my gameplay at this point, I've made a few silly mistakes. You know, being a bit too haphazard. I've had darkness to deal with. That's always a pain in the butt. But I think I'm doing alright. You'll see what happens in the City of Gold, because I'm not watching it right now. I'm just doing a sort of diary take over some gameplay. And I just couldn't get the bombs. I mean, I probably could have, but I was thinking, nah, I'll get them later. Oh shit, I'm in the City of Gold with no bombs. So that's what I mean about strategy in Spelunky. You have to be careful with resources, because no amount of skill is going to help you if you fuck up your plan. We can even say, look, I fucked up my plan to begin with, so... And that plan was to have a 0 gold run. I picked up some gold straight away and just thought, screw it, I'm doing this. And I guess that's when the demons dig their claws in. The demons of Spelunky throwing. Throwing being just, you know, losing your edge, losing your nerve, losing your swag bag.
Allowing the demons inside.
The demons of doubt, not literal demons. Absolutely, totally a metaphor. I'm not a fuckwit nutjob. I do not believe in demons, because there is no reason to. Provide me a convincing argument, yeah, sure. Until then, I don't believe in it. Otherwise, I would have to believe in everything. Because to believe in something without a reasonable argument or evidence is to have that as your standard of belief. That means anything that you imagine you have to believe is absolutely true. That is pretty fucking stupid. And that's also pretty much the basis of those educational pictures on Facebook, like, don't eat asparagus because you'll turn into a tree man. You know, you've seen them. You know what I'm talking about. Or baking soda cures cancer, look at this doctor, they've chased him away. And then you look him up and he was disbarred because he had a 100% mortality rate on his surgeries. Everyone he touched fucking died. He is cancer incarnate. He is not a surgeon. You know, Fern Gully, that cartoon with Tim Curry being that pollution demon thing. He is that. He is literally that in a morph suit to make him look like a human in a flesh-coloured morph suit. There's a band name, flesh-coloured morph suit. If you use it, I want a cut, please. Morph suits are pretty neat. I have a friend who was going as the Riddler to some Batman theme thing. I don't like the Riddler. I didn't tell him that. He probably won't watch this, or at least won't watch this far into it anyway. Fucking Doomsday is what you want in anything to do with DC. Anything to do with comics even. Fuck it. Anime, manga. Just throw Doomsday in there. He'll become immune to kawaii little chibi freaks. And then surely he can beat Superman without him dying as well. Because it wasn't Superman beating Doomsday and then Superman died. Doomsday beat him. Because it takes less than death to kill a man. Superman was dead way before. He just fucking shit his pants when he brought Doomsday up into the stratosphere, and then Doomsday was still fighting him. He was fucking scared like a little bitch. That was when Superman really died and became a little bitch forever. Even cyborg Superman's cooler than real Superman. I think I'm a big fan of Doomsday, and I'm really hyped that he might be in Batman vs Superman, because there's a chance for Doomsday to be looking fucking awesome, which is how he should look. I'm wondering how they're going to do it though, because if it's Darkseid with Doomsday clones, the thing is all the Doomsdays are going to be super fucking weak because they're clones of the base creature without having built up any resistances. It's like when you have a bacterial infection and he's spawning loads and loads of little viruses or bacteria, and you wipe out most of them, but then there's a few left who are resistant because you didn't quite wipe them out completely, and then you try and wipe those out, and then there are a few left that are even stronger, and then you end up with one Doomsday that's super strong. Is what I would have liked to have seen when you have all those Doomsdays coming out of the boom tube from Darkseid cloning him. The original Doomsday was super cool in that he was just the last one in a line of creatures that were being used in experiments, cloned, and he just happened to pick up momentum and gaining resistances. So Superman had to do one thing to him that was just beyond the threshold that would kill Doomsday. If he'd messed up and he hadn't killed Doomsday, Doomsday would be pretty much unstoppable, because Superman's strongest would have just gone to strengthen him if he hadn't done him in with that one big smash into the ground. In the middle of a city, I believe, in the comic and in the cartoon. I don't know why he'd do that. So he can fly out into space in a split second, but, Man of Steel, he can't miss the city. He needs to make a splash on his way out. People make the argument that Doomsday would lose to Worldbreaker Hulk. They use the example of, who died in the... Was it Diana? I can't remember his superhero name. But he smashed into Superman and it killed her. Just the blast wave from it. But as far as I remember, it didn't kill Superman. And the impact required to kill Doomsday killed Superman as well. So that means the impact required to kill Doomsday is greater than what Worldbreaker Hulk can put out. Therefore, assuming it's Doomsday with the resistance built up to the level he had it when he fought Superman and was killed, Worldbreaker Hulk couldn't beat him. Because he'd pound him around, but it wouldn't be enough to utterly end him, and therefore would just make him stronger slowly. I'm no comic book scholar though. I'm more into my Elder Scrolls games, and man, Elder Scrolls Online, piece of shit. I've been playing the beta for quite a while. Every time they have it up it must be almost a year now, and it is just so dumb. It is so dumb. It's an okay MMO, but everything else about it is super horrible if you care about the lore at all, even in passing. I mean, it's not like completely different, but some of the fucking things they have in the PvP, like Elder Scroll of Chim. It's like, I think it's meant to be pronounced Kim, I've heard, but I can't not pronounce it Chim because of the Mary Poppins thing. But that doesn't make sense necessarily. It's just so weird. It's like they're taking big parts of the metaphysics of the Elder Scrolls world and using them to name little PvP capture points. So we're coming up to the end of the game. As you know, I wasted the opportunity of City of Gold letting me get into hell by getting the Necronomicon. So it's just going to have to be an Olmec run. Will I do it? You'll see soon enough. I don't see why I'd mess up, but maybe I will. I'm saying that as if I don't know, and I just played this. So, as you can see as well, this is like my first time properly going to complete the game on the PC version. This is like my third run on the PC version, something like that. I played a run and then I did a recorded one with the, the 0 gold attempt that I messed up. Of course, don't forget, I get tons of bombs when I leave the City of Gold in the Olmec room. I'm not sure if we're onto that bit in the video yet, but yep. Of course, when I don't need loads of bombs, I get loads of bombs. And I especially don't need them because I get a Matic up top. If you haven't seen that yet in this video, sorry for the spoiler. But I closed the video as I was starting to get off track with it. Such is Spelunky. And the thing is, it's my fault. People will say, oh, but it didn't give me this stuff. It doesn't need to give you this stuff. You just need to not spend the resources you get at the beginning and you'll be fine. But if you use them as a crutch, you've screwed yourself over. My next video might not be Spelunky, it might be Metal Slug 3. I'd love to play Ninja Gaiden on Xbox, but I don't have an original Xbox anymore. And I'm not going to steal it and emulate it. Is there a remake? I'll look it up after I finish recording this. I hope there is, like a PC port remake type thing. That game was so good. So great. I used to play the demo from the magazine, the official Xbox magazine. It's just a few minutes, just the first stage and up to that boss. I played it over and over and over and over again. When I finally got the game, it took me forever to beat it because I was so bad at it, but I just loved every minute I played. The atmosphere of it and the way it had been balanced was just perfect for me. Speaking of ports, if you played Diablo 3 on PC and thought it sucked, I'd agree with you. On Xbox 360, it is amazingly good. It's so good. They obviously made it for consoles because it's so stripped down that it suits the controller setup. Just like how I found Sacred 2, while an awesome game, on Xbox it's a bit of a pain in the ass going through the menus, especially when you're doing shared screen co-op. That's where Diablo 3 really kills, the same screen with a friend, in my case my little sister, playing it, because there isn't so much menu management and everything goes so smoothly, you don't need to pause and reassign skills all the time. It's really fun to play co-op. You don't need to start, stop, wait for the other person to deal with their inventory, blah 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 blah. It's just a kill fest, like the old Gauntlet games. Those were awesome. Those were really awesome. I used to go to Toys R Us and they had a Dreamcast, I think, on display where we'd play Gauntlet. I don't have my Dreamcast anymore, but I loved Sonic Adventure and I was so hyped the first time I realised I'd unlocked something special and secret. You know, the Super Sonic or whatever, the Golden Sonic fighting Chaos, shooting through the city. We're coming up to the end now, so I'm going to say goodbye and I'll see you another time. Fingers crossed for my job interview tomorrow.